好，欢迎，welcome. So welcome the new friend and the old friend. So we are very happy to gather here for our today's Learn and Learn to review, recite Chinese classic poetry and also learn the Chinese calligraphy with Su 老师. So okay, I think almost everyone is here. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Yongqiang Lin from China Institute. So today I'm here with my colleague Chunxuan Xu. So Chunxuan, wanna say hello to everyone?
大家好, hello everyone. This is Chunxuan, and I know some of you may know me, and maybe some of you at the first time. I hope you can enjoy this session. Thank you.
谢谢春轩. Okay, 好. So as you may know, so today's session will be the last session of this season. So we will continue our journey with Su 老师 to learn the Chinese calligraphy. Before that, so as usual, we will start with the Chinese classical poetry. So today, so in our follow-up email, we send everyone the recording link of 惠崇春江晚景 is Chinese classical poetry. It's river scenes on a spring evening, written by Su Shi. So I don't know if you have time to take a look of that, but today we will, Chunxuan will take us to recite that poetry together. So now I'm turning the camera to Chunxuan.
Okay, now I will share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen?
是啊。
Okay. Okay, everyone, welcome to today's Learn and Learn. And the poem's name is 惠崇春江晚景. And I know some of you are our new friends and some of you are our old friends of China Institute. So let's read aloud with me. I assure you will be able to keep up because firstly, I will read the whole poem. And in this section, you don't need to read after me because you can listen and get familiar with the pronunciation of the poem. And then I will read this poem sentence by sentence. In this section, you can turn on your microphone and we can read aloud about this poem. And in the end, I will read the whole poem, and I will read the poem two times. For the first time, I will read very slow, and for the last time, I will read in a normal speed for you to feel the rhythm of the Chinese poetry. Okay, for this part, I will read, and you can listen to the sound, the pronunciation of the poem. 惠崇春江晚景，竹外桃花三两枝。春江水暖鸭先知，蒌蒿满地芦芽短。正是河豚欲上时。Okay, this is the whole poem, and then I will read sentence by sentence. And you are welcome to turn on your microphone, and we can read this poem sentence together. Okay. 竹外桃花三两枝。
竹外桃花三两枝。
Yeah, very good. I can hear your voice. 春江水暖鸭先知。
春江水暖鸭先知。
Hey, great. 蒌蒿满地芦芽短。
蒌蒿满地芦芽短，
非常好。正是河豚欲上时。
正是河豚
上时。
非常好。I hope you get familiar with the pronunciation, and then I will read the whole poem. So for the first time, I will read slowly, and then I will read in a normal speed. Okay, this is the first time, and you are also welcome to turn on the camera and read with me. 竹外桃花三两枝。
竹外
桃花三两枝，
春江水暖鸭先知。
春江水暖鸭先知。
蒌蒿满地芦芽短。
蒌蒿
满
地芦芽短，
正是河豚欲上时。
正是
河豚欲上时。
非常好。For the last time, I will read in the rhythm to the Chinese poetry, which is a normal Chinese speed. Hope you can feel the rhythm, the beauty of the rhythm. Okay. 惠崇春江晚景。You can also read with me and turn on the microphone. 惠崇春江晚景。
惠崇春江晚景。
Great. 竹外桃花三两枝。
竹外桃花三两枝。
春江水暖鸭先知。
春江水暖鸭先知。
非常好。蒌蒿满地芦芽短。
蒌蒿满地芦芽短，
正是河豚欲上时。
正是河豚欲上时。
Okay, thank you. I heard all of your voice. Thank you for read with me. 谢谢大家的。
OK， 好，谢谢春轩。I hope it's not very difficult for you, but I do see a lot of our old friend. Your Chinese is getting better and better. You can, when you recite the poem, you can follow the speed and the pronunciation of every Chinese character. That's very good. Thank you. So we can see that this poem is capture the landscaping of the, along the Yangtze River during the spring evening. So it's very vivid and it's very, we can see it's just like a picture in your mind or in front of you. You can see that. So I hope you have some time to enjoy the beautiful, spring times outside. So okay, so and I will post the recording of this poem later in the chat box. If you also can have a chance to to recite that, to read the whole video about this point. How do we learn that, and how do we explain that? So you can learn it by yourself later. So okay, next will be our next session for Mr. Su Laoshi to introduce the Chinese calligraphy. So, and one reminder for everyone. So for today's session, so we will add one new interaction session after Su Laoshi part. So just get yourself ready. So I will post our instruction later. So with you. Okay, now let's have Su Laoshi.
Hello, everyone. Let me share my screen first. All right. Okay. My name is Yisu. I'm a Chinese calligrapher. If welcome newcomers. If you've been walking through all previous 4 sessions with me, well, thank you very much for being with me for the past 4 months, and welcome back for today's session. You can feel free to go to my website to find more information, and you can download some free resources of calligraphy practices. So today will be our last one, and the theme will be the running and cursive script. If you have participated previous sessions, you would be very familiar of this page because this is the guideline of all the topics. The first time we've talked about the basics, it's not on the picture here, but it's about the writing tools. It's about the body gestures and all the materials you need to prepare before you start to write. And the second class, we introduced the seal script thoroughly, 篆书. The third is the clerical script. Last time, the fourth is the regular script. And today we're gonna introduce the running script and cursive script. Why I put these two together? Because these two are very advanced level for practitioner to learn, which I do not recommend for beginners to practice. You can take a review, take a look, or appreciate it. And today we will talk more about these two, and you will know why. And this is the development line of each of the Chinese calligraphy. And when one script first invented, it's only used by a very small group of people. It became popular when it's developed to its mature condition. So that's why I picked these 5 art pieces that to represent its mature condition. So it's not a timeline. Why I would like to mention that? Because for example, the cursive script, I put 张旭 古诗四帖 translated as handwriting of 4 poems by himself. It's being written in Tang Dynasty, which is like 8th century, but the cursive script is being invented around this period. So it's between Han Dynasty and Eastern Jin Dynasty, which is like 3rd century. So it developed to its peak in Tang. So I select this art piece here to represent the cursive script. When we learn calligraphy, we learn from the Asian masters. So the representative piece is super important for us to learn from. That's the model we go after. So now let's begin today's part by introduce the running script first. Okay, running script in Chinese is 行书. Running, unlike walking, it's with higher speed. The same logic when you do the 行书, just like walking versus running. So it's like regular script versus running script. So if you can remember in 篆书, 隶书, and 楷书, which refers to seal script, clerical script, and regular script, each stroke is separately placed. You take a breath to write one stroke, and you can dip in the ink and write another one. Whereas in 行书, as you can see, in each character, there is connection. There's connection between the strokes itself. So you take a breath to write a whole character, then you move on to the next one. So usually when there's connection that you can see, we do not pause there. We usually write with connections and speed. And there's very much more techniques and emotions embodied. These 3 examples I selected here are the top 3 masterpieces of 行书 in history. The first one is Wang Xizhi, well, the superstar, Wang Xizhi's 兰亭序, translated as the preface of Orchid Pavilion, which is written around 4th century. The second top 2 is Yan Zhenqing's 祭侄文稿 from Tang Dynasty, the lament of for his nephew. The third is from Su Shi. The poem we just read together is also from this master. He is master. He's a poet himself and also a very famous calligrapher. So this is his very famous piece of Huangzhou Hanshi Tie. It's called Food Festival in Huangzhou City. Is written in Song Dynasty, which is like 11th century. So they are in different time period, but they along the history, we regard these 3 as the top 3 of 行书 in history. Because there's not only the techniques, more complex techniques are applied, and also the emotions are embodied. People can still empathize with them even after 1,000 years apart from the artist, especially for the Yan Zhenqing and Su Shi, because they're like very sad emotions. This is, through the translation, you can tell it's not, it's very sad for him to find his death of his nephew. And in this one, the Su Shi, he wrote these poems after being reduced in his career. So his strokes are really strong, and there are many changes of thickness and rhythm according to his feelings. And the Yan Zhenqing's 祭侄文稿, he wrote in great sorrow and anger because the enemy killed his nephew. The power runs all through the whole piece, because this is only a part, and after the slides, I'm gonna show you the whole piece. But there are many use of the dryness of the brush to write through the whole piece, releasing the pathetic emotion. But the structure remains solid. That means even though you're very emotional when you write these works, but you still remain rational when you do the technique. It's very easy to say it out, but it's very hard to achieve it, especially they're improvised. That makes it harder. That's like what calligraphers are pursuing until nowadays still. So let's take a closer look of the first one, 兰亭序. This is the whole piece of 兰亭序. The theme of 兰亭序 is quite famous and popular. People write songs of it, after it, write our critics about this theme. Excuse me. So Wang Xizhi and his writing of this 兰亭序, the preface of Orchid Pavilion, people learn, if people want to learn 行书 or learn from Wang Xizhi himself, they will imitate this brushwork. There's a fun story. Because what we see here, the picture of on this page is not the original. It's not written by Wang Xizhi, but a copy. The original artwork was collected by the emperor until Tang Dynasty. The emperor shared his Wang Xizhi's artwork, the original artwork, with his ministers to make copies of it. At that time, the Chinese movable type printing technology, 活字印刷术, is not invented yet. That is until Song Chao in like 11th century. So people make copies of it, not only to make more versions of it, but also to learn the technique by copying it. This version we see here on this page is the most accurate one from Feng Chengsu. The person's name is Feng Chengsu. He traced it other than copying it by other calligraphers. So we consider this version is the most accurate one, more similar to the original one. We cannot see the original one anymore. It was lost like around Tang Dynasty. But thanks to these copies, there are like 4 or 5 versions of copies that we can still see nowadays. And thanks to these copies, we can do research and learn from the Wang Xizhi and bring us back to almost like 2,000 years before. And why Lan Tingxu and Wang Xizhi is so important? Because Wang, he made remarkable contribution to the calligraphy development. His personal style, like this, set the standards for 行书 as the expression of the confident and experienced calligrapher, and shows elegance by his writing. And he also set the standards of the aesthetics of Chinese characters. That is fun to know, because if you ask any like native Chinese speaker nowadays on the street, you ask him, most of them would know Wang Xizhi. And if you show them this artwork, they would say this is beautiful character. This is beautifully written Chinese character. So he's like the first person to develop this kind of style, but last until nowadays. If we have chance, we can talk more about Wang Xizhi, but let's go back to the 行书. As you can see, for the whole piece, there's some modification, right? This is not even intended to written as an art piece. This is a draft. This is a draft of his article. It's also important in literature. It's a very beautiful article. In some sense, the 行书 is very much like a shorthand. You can write it fast and convenient. That's why when you do the draft, you write with 行书, right? Because it's recognizable and also very fast to write whole more characters. It's not very intended for clear legibility. You can tell that even though you can recognize some characters, but there's established thing from the artist himself that is only belong to his own artistic expression. So, and also there are many changes in writing techniques, even in the same character. Let's take an example of Bu here. There are many Bu in this art piece. For example, here, 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 something like that. And I select them out, pick them out for you to have a clear look. Here. You can see very clearly on this page. This character is called Bu. In English, it means no. It means no. This is the computer font of Bu. We can see from this page, all the Bu here, they look totally different. Let's review the scripts we've learned before. The first 3, if you can still remember, the first very tall rectangular shape, It is the first script we've talked about. It's the seal script called 篆书. The second one, if you can remember, the goose tail, the flat compressed shape, right, is the clerical script called 隶书. The third, it's a square now. It's a square shape, and each strokes are placed individually. Compared with the rounding script here, there's no connection between the strokes. This is 楷书, the standard script. So 1, 2, 3 is what we've been talked about. The 3 scripts previously, they are all 部 here. All these 5 部are picked out from this one art piece, 兰亭序, the preface of Orchid Pavilion. As you can see, although they are all the same character of 部, but they look slightly different, right? The strokes are connected, as I mentioned before, earlier. So, for example, here, 横 connect with 撇. This one, 也 connect with 竖, vertical line, 竖. And the hook here, you see the hook here? It goes to the next stroke, the last stroke, 点, dot. And even here, look here. The last stroke, there's a little hook here to connect to the next stroke. So as you can see, they are usually connected strokes, but not all of them. It is executed with considerably more speed and freedom. You see, the thickness is changed. The shape is not squared or flat or other shape. And there's a tendency to expose the tip of brush in each character. But this technique is already happened studying 楷书, because if we separate here, in 篆书 and 隶书, take a closer look of the tip, the starting shape and end shape here, and here. They are all in round shape. That is called concealed start. You can take a review of previous videos that I demonstrate about this technique earlier. But in 楷书 and 行书, you see the sharp and pointy start here. It's all called exposed tip. So that's usually happen in 行书. Because of the connection, you can clearly see the movement from one stroke to another, and you can take a guess of by all these clues. For example, let me see. Okay, this character is 上, up. 上下上 is translated as up. Take a look at these 2 pictures. These 2 characters both were written by one calligrapher. His name is 赵孟俯in Yuan Dynasty. And if you trace it with your finger on the screen, here, left-hand side, these characters start with 横 first. Go up, come down for the vertical line, 竖. Then go to the left and write the last stroke as the long horizontal stroke. Let's take a look at the second one. Well, you will see there's a connection between one and this short horizontal line and the long horizontal line. There's connection here, very obvious. That makes the vertical line goes to the first stroke. So what we write is 竖 横 come to the end So even the same character, it has different stroke orders. To summarize the principles, as you can see here, it has diversified techniques because it's not the same shape of each stroke. There's no standard shape. If you can remember, or later on, I will demonstrate more about this. So in CO, all the strokes, they have the same rules. It has a standard shape, the same as the clerical, because it has goose tail, right? We can summarize the shape, but in 行书, the technique diversifies. So it's very difficult to summarize a specific rule for every stroke. There's no such rule. And for each stroke, they have connections, evident or hidden. For example, this is the evident, very obvious connection. And this one, we call it hidden connection. For the stroke and layout, you can see, this is for the scope of the whole art piece. We have the dynamic balance because the characters are not placed very tightly or one next to each other. It has the size difference, the space between lines are differ. So they take dynamic balance to make it harmony. The size of character and space between them differ. That's what I said. And the rhythm, it is because you write with speed, the rhythm shows up. The rhythm is very important to write 行书 and 草书. 草书 is even faster. So rhythm is how you identify if he is experienced calligrapher or not. It's very important. All right. So that's a little bit introduced about, that's a little bit introduced about 草书. Let's move, 行书, sorry. Let's move on to 草书. 草书 is translated as cursive script or brush script. Cursive, as you can see, is you can't even recognize. It's not designed for legibility. 草书 is the most complicated, artistic, expressive, and hard to learn style because it has higher speed and you will need to memorize each character, each sign of character, like to learn another language before you can actually write it with speed. The characters can be placed individually or linked together by groups. So these are 5 报奴子月为. So these are 5 characters connected together, even more after it. So this is the detail of this part. And like this is written in a hand scroll. This is a hanging scroll. These two is written from right to left. And this art is written from top to bottom. The link between characters are very common in 草书, and the character, the final stroke of 草书's character is usually lead directly to the first stroke of the next character. For example, here, 父子, 父 last stroke is connected to the first stroke of 子. So it's like the evidence of connection between these two characters. Because they connect more than 行书, the brush accelerates. Oh, I think this opposite way, because you accelerates, that makes more connections. The strokes and characters flowing together into a like continuous movement. There are basically 2 categories inside of 草书. All these 3 pieces are called 大草, the large cursive, And there's also small cursive. This is the large and small refers to the size. I want to mention this because in the seal script session, the large seal and small seal are referring to how rough it is. It's not about size, but this case is the size. Usually when we write 大草, each character, the average size of characters will be the size of like your palm. And we were gonna write in a standing posture. Whereas in 小草书, 小草, small cursive, here like this. We just use the sitting posture. Take a look at these 3 examples. When we're talking about 草书, people may think about continuous lines all along from top to bottom, like what you saw in last page. But you can tell from this artwork that is not true. Not all the cursive script goes connected all along together. These characters are placed individually. These 2 I would consider an artwork, but this one is special. This is written by Zhi Yong in Sui Dynasty. It's called the 1000 Character Classic because it's special because it is the textbook for people to know regular script and cursive script. So here, for example, these 2 lines, the right side is the regular script of Chinese characters, and the second line next to it is the corresponding writing of cursive for each character. So it's like textbook for two scripts for beginner or students to learn what's the cursive writing looks like. The same here. So you can see 4 lines here, but only 2 parts of content. The content is the 1000 character classic. So you can see each one has the unique sign. Each character has a unique sign. If we want to write it freely, we will need to memorize the character's writing, how to write it out first. I'm taking one example for you to see. Okay. This character is the cursive writing of Shang. What we just saw here is looks very different, right? It looks like a evil face, 2 eyes and mouth. This is the character of Shang written in cursive script. It also has diversified techniques linked together, hidden or evident. It is more fluently written with rhythm, characters run together, and unique abbreviated form. But please remember that cursive script also need accuracy. If you write fast, you still need to control your brush pen to manipulate the brush pen to create, not letting the pen to lead you to write randomly. So that's not the case when we do cursive script. Cursive script, you still need to create as you wish, not randomly swiping it. The sign of each character, like I just mentioned, also need accuracy. It would be totally a different character if you place the stroke in different place. That's very important when we talk about cursive. And that's also the reason why it's hard to learn or it's an advanced level. First, you need to control, you have the ability to control the brush pen, which you will require you to practice from the more quiet or still strokes before you can run or do cursive. on this page is the Shang, the character written by other calligraphy masters in history. They're cute face, huh? Just not as the evil face. They are not very exactly the same, but they are like variations. But the inner logic is the same. The left dot, right dot, and last stroke here. The red part is how it looks like when connected with other characters below. So this is from Wang Duo, one of my favorites. He's from late Ming Dynasty. If you do not know Shang, you would consider this picture as two characters because these very connected, and one maybe breaks here and two. However, if you know how to write Shang, so this is Shang connected with second character and the third. So there are three characters here called Shang You Shan, translated as climb up a quiet mountain. Shang You Shan. This is for you to feel. If you know the character, you would read cursive. If you do not, there's possibilities for you to mix with other characters that you cannot recognize. Okay. To wrap up a little bit, today we talk about the 行书 and 草书. This is my writing of 书 in both script. Let's go over it one more time. So first we talk about 篆书. Remember the shape? Then 隶书, clerical script with goose tail. 楷书 is more still strokes with no connections in between. And 行书 takes running, right? Running faster, and there's like connection you can see and tell from single character. The last cursive 草书 is like you can fly after running. Fly needs higher speed, and the connections here is more obvious, and it's a simplified version that makes people more convenient to write out the character. So it's like the development of Chinese character is making you write it more effectively. That's the basic logic of how the character is being developed. All right, let's see our today's practice. 和, it means peace and harmony. It's also it has same version in traditional and simplified. If you're writing it well, you can put it in a frame and hang up as a small artwork at home. Let's see how it looks like this. Let me stop sharing here and I will do the demonstration for this character. All right, can everybody see me? Here.林老师，
Yeah， 苏老师。
我们介绍那个让他们提问吗？
我们先把这个 practice 这个部分做完吧。
好 ，OK。
嗯哼。
Okay, all these 5 characters are here, so I will do them one by one. Starting from the seal script. The seal script will need to write with concealed tip. And imagine a tall rectangular shape here. to keep it in the same thickness. And use the technique of concealed tip. When you do connections, do not leave anything to see the connection part. This is the seal. Okay, so let's move on to the 隶书. I want you to think about, imagine a flat shape. Press down harder. There's thickness changing compared with seal, so. Also, the concealed tip. It's a very typical technique here. All right, let's move on to the exposed tip, which refers to the standard script. So it will be in a square shape. You imagine that. Each stroke is written out separately. All right, let's move on to the running 行书. This version comes from Wang Xizhi's 兰亭序 we've talked about today. Pay attention to the connections. It's still recognizable, right? Compared with the regular script. The last one would be the cursive. 草书. The writing strokes will be totally different. Well, all right, so that's the 5 different versions, different scripts of the same character 和. This is the seal, script 篆书, 隶书, 楷书, 行书, and 草书. Okay. Let me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can I take it from here, 苏老师?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, 苏老师. 苏老师 just show us the 5 different scripts out of the Chinese character. So we can do interaction part here. So for most of the time, so we just show you how to write and which character we choose for you. So for now, so you have the opportunity to propose 1 or 2 Chinese character to 苏老师. So she can write the Chinese character you proposed with any scripts. So from the seal to the cursive. So now, so I can turn the camera or the microphone to you. So do you have any idea you want Su 老师 to do the demonstration for the Chinese character? To 1 or 2. So because of the limited time. Anyone has any idea?
She just wrote 上有山. Can she do it in 楷书?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I can do that. Let me do, let me change the paper. One second.
Thank you, Marilyn.
担当
Thanks. And we also have Mark from the chat box to write Lu.
上优山 in regular script. Sure. Yep, that's 上优山 here in regular script, and I can put cursive correspondingly here. You can see the difference. As you can see, writing with speed.
多谢多谢。
不客气。
苏老师，我们那个还有一个学生在那个 chat box 里面写那个鹿，
鹿啊，OK，
小鹿的那个动物的那个鹿。
动物的那个鹿。So I'll do it in regular.
Something from 苏轼。
鹿最早的样子是
啊，
篆
yeah,
书或者甲骨文。
甲骨文 OK. One second. Let me show you the dictionary so you will have a clear mind of how it looks like from the original. And the writings will be very different because even though this is regular, there's underneath there's different writing here. So I want to show you. This is a dictionary. This is a seal of 篆书, sorry, 篆书 different version. This is more pictograph 的大篆. This is 小篆. So this is 篆书 looks like here. And in 楷书, there are difference also. Here, what I wrote here is using the version, something like this. But there are other versions, you see? So these two are the same version as I wrote, and this one's different version. This is same, this is different. So these two are the same. If you can know what I'm meaning here. So although one single character, there are different writings. It's normal. Yeah, that's about Lu. Let me see if there's any questions here.
上面有一个问题。
From Sarah. Never know that cursive is not intended to be legible, that even for native speaker. Actually, even native speaker cannot recognize the cursive script unless he's trained by memorizing the signs. So only professional calligraphers, they can do cursive. And also the seal. The seal is also need to memorize them if you want to be a experienced calligrapher. That's different area you will need to do work on. So was not they only written out to express more than to write out some artwork for people to recognize. So that's different intentions. Let's see next. From Chao Li. In the case of cursive script, do calligraphers enjoy absolute freedom? That's what I just talked about. We do enjoy the freedom. However, it also has restrained rules, which is the correctness of writing the characters out, and something like that. It's like dancing with cuffs. So you need to express more, but there's also rules to apply to this cursive script. 小安 said 上优山. That is correct. That's 3 characters.
我猜对了，哈哈。
是的，你猜对了。Let me see. So some from, oh, thank you, Sarah. And Mark said Lu, something from Sushi Sherman. Okay, let me see. I will pick a word from his famous 黄州寒食帖. It's春. Let's do a 春, spring. Can you see the spring? Let me see. Yeah. So that is the 春 from Sushi style. Oh, and I would like to show you, if we have time. Let me change my camera here. I made a copy of Yan Zhenqing's 祭侄文稿 the lament of for his nephew. The whole piece looks like this. As I said before, this is a draft, so you can see the modification.
How long did it take you to write that?
The whole piece is roughly, I would say 20 minutes or 30 minutes to write the whole piece. But this is copy, this is imitating, this is learning. So it took more time than you writing freely. So this is a piece I wrote after the style of Yan Zhenqing. It's my own writing, so this will be faster than the copying. In the column here, I said with the writing style of Yan Lugong, which is Yan Zhenqing. It's using this technique to create this artwork. And the one here, this is called large cursive. So this is Wang.
黄庭坚.
That is Wang Duo and Huang Tingjian. Wang Duo more than Huang Tingjian. A little bit of Huang Tingjian actually. This is a poem from Hao Yuanming. As you can see, the characters are connected mostly together. That's the large cursive script. So the size will the average size is like palm size. This is 悠然见南山, the famous saying, the famous poem sentence.
所以原来是利州。
什么原来？
王多的那个原来是利州，还不是手转。
王铎的很多都是利州。Most of Wang Duo's artwork are hanging scrolls. However, there are some artworks from him is hand scrolls. There are many other questions. Let me pick out some questions because this.
Yeah, last two questions, Su 老师. So the first one is from Jen. They would like you to write 爱人人爱因草书.
爱人人.
And then your dictionary.
Yeah, it's because 爱 好书 will be totally different. I want you to imagine how it looks like. If we have chance, we can talk more about how it's being produced, why it looks like this. Let me change my camera. Let me write it out first for you to see. Here. 爱人人爱 So 爱 in 行书 is like this. 爱 However, in 草书 it looks like this. If I do 爱人人爱 in writing it vertically will be 人 a dot can used to represent duplicate characters, and another I. I'm using thinner strokes to make difference. So this is 爱人人爱. Okay. Shall we? What is the website for that dictionary?
Yeah, that will be our last question for today.
Yeah, I write it down. The app here is called 以观书法. However, you can also search in Chinese 书法字典 to find out dictionary. 以观书法. This is the app I was using here, but you can also search 书法字典 on website. Yeah, that's it for today.
多谢
OK
很好玩。
Everyone.
Yeah, 谢谢苏老师。
Yeah.
Yeah, 谢谢苏老师 and thank you everyone. So I think I will share the link to the dictionary later in our follow-up email. So everyone can get the link to that. So okay, so it's a little bit overtime, but I would like to say thank you everyone for joining us. And this will be the last session of this season. So we will restart our long-term learn from September. So just stay tuned, and we will send you the new the new topic of this new season. So in our emails. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. 谢谢大家，谢谢苏老师。
谢谢大家。
谢谢大家，
Bye bye. Have a great
Bye bye.
weekend. Bye
Yeah, have a
bye.
good weekend.
谢谢老师。
谢谢老师。